Hello class, Mr. Stone here. I have an exam one of my good students took last week. I kind of want to go over the different ones, how to solve these. So that way the student can look back and say, oh yeah, this wasn't really, refresh their minds and say, oh yeah, this is how to do this. This was easy. I did real good in this test. Okay? So let's see how I do it. Okay, you ready? So the test has started. The teacher already just said, hey, test has started. What I do is I take my scratch piece of paper after the teacher says the test has started, and I do what they call a memory dump. Because I've been working on this for quite a few weeks now, so I got a lot of formulas in my head. Okay, I want to write these formulas down so I don't have to think of them when I'm doing this test. I can just look back and say, oh yeah, this is easy. So here, let's write down some of the formulas I got in my head. Okay, I got y equals mx plus b. That's a good formula. Okay, slope formula. Okay, then slope y equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Then another one we're working with constants. K equals y over x. Okay, hey, I got all of them written down now. Now, where they're on the scratch piece of paper, I don't have to look back later. I can say, oh yeah, I can do this real easy, okay? I can just pull them out, okay? So hey, let's go to the first one. It says, find the slope using the table below, okay? I'm going to use the formula, slope equals y2, 2 minus y1. I don't have to write this down on that. I'm just writing it down so that you guys can see it. x2 minus x1. That's the one I'm going to use. Okay, I'm going to call this the one line. And I'm going to call this the two line. Okay, so let's see what we got. We got the y here, y. We got the x. Okay, so y2 is going to be 8.4. And hey, we really don't have to write the 0 because minus 0 is going to be the same number. Okay? I'm going to write it anyway. That would at least say minus 0. And then we got 33.6 minus 0. Okay, you see how that works, guys, right? So now, what's this equal? 8.4. 6.25 equals a quarter. Any of those answers a quarter? Yes, they are. This one here. Okay, but say this. Now, this is the first question. But say this was number 10, okay? And now you're coming down the end, okay? So you already got 9 of these done, but you haven't got the 10th one done, and the teacher's saying, hey, you got 22 seconds left and this exam's over, okay? So now you're looking at this, right? Well, you know, okay, these are both positive numbers you're dividing, correct? The 8.4 and the 33.6, they're positives, okay? If you look at the answer choices, okay, you got a negative here and you got a negative here, okay? You know they can't be it, okay? But you don't have time to do this math. You just don't have time. You got 22 seconds left. There ain't enough time, okay? So now you got a choice of a positive a quarter and a positive a half. Okay, so you got a 50-50 shot, okay? So that way you just deduce that this is a positive answer because they're both positives you're dividing. Numerator and denominator is both positives, got to be positive. So hey, just pick one of them and you got a 50-50 shot, okay? And it's a quarter, okay? So that was it for that. Okay, now let's go down to the next one, okay? The next one. Okay, they're actually, on this one here, they kind of got a little easier. They actually gave me the formulas. Look at this. They gave me this formula. But I got it written on my scratch piece of paper beside me just in case they didn't give it to me, okay? So, hey, let's rewrite this, okay? So I'm going to call this x1, y1, x2, y2, okay? So I know where to fill it, okay? So, hey, let's start off. I'm going to write my formula. So I'm going to have negative 12 minus, now I got brackets, -4, okay, over, okay, now my x's. I'm going to have 4.8 minus 1.6 equals, okay, so now -12 minus brackets -4. That's really going to be a -12 plus 4. Okay? A negative times a negative is a positive. Okay, so this is how this is going down. Okay, you see it? And now 4.8 minus 1.6 is 3.2. Okay, -12, if you picture it on the number line, we're way over the left-hand side, and we're going to add 4 to it. What's happening? We're moving right, so it's going to be -8. Okay, so we got a -8 over 3.2 equals negative, because now we got a negative divided by a positive, okay? And it's going to be a negative, okay? So it's 2.5. Square that off. Let's see, is that one of the answers? Yep, right here. Okay, so we solved that. Okay, so here, let's come down to this one, okay? So that was easy. Okay, we're moving down to the next one. We're going to keep moving forward. Now, this is recycling aluminum cans, okay? So on the left-hand side, which is the y-axis, okay, this is the y-axis, and this is the x-axis, okay? The x-axis, and that's the y, okay? We're going to have, I'm going to write in what the plots are for this, okay? So it's going to be xy. So the x is 120. I'm doing h, 120. Comma, okay? Now, when you draw it over, it's 10.8. Little brackets around it, okay? Now the J, that's at 180, comma, 16.2. Brackets around it, okay? There's my 2 points. So I'm going to do the same thing I did before, okay? Remember what we did before? The y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. So the y2, I'm going to use the bigger one, okay? It's 16.2, 2 minus 10.8. Now, let me make it bad 2. Now it's 180 minus 120. Okay. So what do we got here? We're going to bring this down to 5.4. Over 60 equals 0.09. Square that off. Did I explain any of these? Yeah, right here. 0.09. They told you 900ths, and this is 900ths. 0.09 is 900ths. So that was all there was to that, okay? So they just wanted to use the slope passing through H and J right there. Rise over run is the slope. And we use the formula M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so we solved that. Now, choose the function equation. Okay, what did we learn? We wrote it down in the beginning. Y equals mx plus b. Plus b is just the b is where the y intersect is, but that's really not. We know it comes through 0, 0 because it shows it right up here. See? So we know it's going to be 0. Okay? So that doesn't come into play. So now we got y equals, what's the slope? We just solved the slope. It's right here. Right here. 9/10. This is the answer. That was like real easy. Hey, and we're just moving forward now. We're going to whiz right through this. Okay? Now, complete the task below. Okay? Now, task below is right here. Okay, now, what we want to do is, now we want to know if the independent variable is 310, what's y, okay? Let's get the calculator out here, okay? Get the calculator going, okay? Okay, so what we want to do here is just multiply times the 0.09, okay? So we know this is 0, 0. When x is 0, y is going to be 0. So we know this is going to be 0, okay? So these are really drop downs, okay? They don't show good when I just screenshot it, okay? But now if the independent is 310, what's the dependent y? I just multiplied the 310 times the 0.09. I get 27.9. Okay, now I did 500 times the 0.09. I get 45. I wish the drop downs worked here, but they don't. So hey, I'll just write it in. Okay, so that's all we had to do for that. That was easy. And hey, like I said, we just continue to move on. Now let's see what this next one says. Okay, so they gave you a bunch of choices. You get two different things. Okay, they want us to find the value of k. Oh, k is relatively easy. Okay, k. Remember we just did that up the top. What did we write for k? K equals y over x. Y over x. Did they give us a y? Let's see. Yeah, they gave us a y at 64.8. Did they give us an x? Yeah, they gave us an x too. It's a negative 9. Okay. Now we know our answer is going to be negative. Okay, because we had a negative divided by a positive. Okay, or positive divided by a negative. Okay. We do the math on the calculator. It's negative 7.2. Is that one of the answers? Yeah, right here. Look at that. So we solved that. Now, they want us to solve for the unknown variable. Okay, so what the question says, it says when the variable varies directly, okay, directly. When it says directly, this means it's a proportion type problem. Okay, that means x over y, x1 over y. 1 equals x2 over y2. Okay, so you can set it up just like this. Okay, so here, let's do the x is negative 9. I'm going to leave it the same way it was before. Okay, I should have done the y. You can reverse these. Okay, no, that's just 9 over 64.8 equals so you can just do the little, remember the old cross multiply. Okay, I'll get the calculator out. So we got 0.8, 64.8 over negative 64.8 equals a negative 1. But you see how I got that, right? So really I just set it up as a proportion. You can either have y1 over x1, y2 over x2. It doesn't really matter which way you put this. Okay, you can put it both ways, and you're going to come up with the same answer. Okay, no matter what. Like, you can just reverse these or leave them like that. It doesn't really matter. As long as at the top of each one is the x and the bottom is the y, or the top's a y and the bottom is an x. They got to stay the same that way. When you cross multiply, you're going to come up with the same answer, and that was all there was there. This is relatively easy. Let's keep moving. Okay, use the equation you've been working with. Y equals mx plus b, okay, to find the slope. Okay, so hey, they're telling you what's the slope. The slope is this one, right here. That's the slope, the m, because they're giving you the formula. This negative 95 is the b. That's where the intersection line is when you cross y. So hey, this is my answer right there. Okay, and that was all there was to it. So, hey, we're moving right through this. Okay, now, on this one here, it really didn't come out correctly. Okay, the problem had words with this, and I can kind of remember what the words were. It was that guy's running a charity type race. Okay, so what he's collecting, okay, he's collecting $40. He's collecting $40 for every $40 for 2.5 miles. So if he runs 2.5 miles, he's collecting $40. Okay, so they want to show what graph represents this. So here's what you have to do. So you got all these graphs. Okay, you want to find the one. Okay, so the $40 equals the Y, and the 2.5 equals the X. So you want to find it like that. Okay, so hey, let's see this first one. I already know it's the first one. Okay, so but I'm going to show you each one. Okay, so we get the Y-axis here, and the X-axis here. Okay, the Y-axis, the intersection right here, and what's that? That's right at the 2.5 and the 40. So this is the correct answer, right there. Okay, that's the correct answer. Okay, so now I'll show you the rest of them. Okay, this one here is 2.5, but he would only collected $10. See, $10 there. $10, that ain't enough. Okay, now this is straight across. You know, the more miles he completes, the more dollars, so you know that one's wrong. Okay, now this one here, oh, you know what they did? I'll show you what they did. This one doubled itself, okay? So this is the same, nope. Okay, I thought it did, but it didn't. Okay, this is, they only collected $30, see it? It's $30. So this isn't it, because the wordage in the thing said $40. Okay, so that wasn't it. So that was the answer. That was all there was to that. Okay, I think we just completed. Oh no, choose the function equation for the situation. Okay, so Y equals, now I want to get the slope. So the rise is 40. Slope equals rise or run. So it's 40 to 20 to 2.5 equals 16. So your slope is 16 on this. Okay, so that means this is the answer. Y equals mx. And we know it's going to be 0 because if he doesn't run no miles, he ain't getting $0. Okay, so it's your slope is 16 because your rise is $40 for every 2.5. So 16's it. You see how I got that? And that's all there was to it. So that was all the questions in this. Okay, I think we covered everything. I think we did pretty good on this. And like I said, now what I'd do if it was me, I'd be going back, and what I advise you to do, go back and double check all this math. Hey, did I write down 8.4? Did I write down 8.4? Because I can see it should be 8.4 and it should be, look at this. Okay, I already know I did the math correct, but I got 30, I wrote down 36.6 and it should be 33.6. So let's double check this. I did this on scratch paper before this, so I know a quarter is going to be the one, but you can see where it made a little mistake here. You see that? Okay, so hey, let's do the 8.4 divided by 33.6. Yep, so this should be 33.6. But you see how you can write down these things wrong? You can copy them wrong. So always go back and double check, okay? Double, triple check. Until they flash the lights and say, hey, class is over, you got to get out of here. Keep checking these things, okay? Because you write down the wrong thing as you just see this, okay? Let's go to the next one. Okay, did I write down all the things right? Yeah, it's negative 12. Negative 12 it is. It's negative 4. Yeah, it's 4.8, 1.6. Yep, that's correct. Okay. Hey, next one. 180. Yeah, I did that. 120, 10.8. Yeah, did I do the math right? 16.2 minus 10.8. Yeah, it's 5.4. Let's read backwards. Yep, I'm just doing 60 plus 120 does equal 180. That's 5.4. I'm using the calculator now. divided by 60. Yes, it does equal 0.09. Yep, so I got that. Okay. And now the next one's just a repeat, really, of that one. So really, the lousy thing is, if you get the first one wrong, you're probably going to get the second one wrong. Right? I really don't like exams like that, but I didn't write the exam. But you can see how that one worked. Okay, now I got cross multiplication. Okay, so I got to blow this up. Did I do the right ones? Yeah, it's 64.8. It's negative 9. Yeah. The 36.5, does that divide up into 7.2? I'm doing another calculator again. Yes, it does make 7.2. Then when I cross multiply, is 9, negative 9 times 7.2. Yes, that does equal 64.8. Yep, that's correct. So I mean, hey, this is a 1. I already know it. Okay, negative 1 is the answer. Okay. Now the next one, I can see that. I picked the right one. Okay. Yeah, we did them all right, okay? But you see how you should always go back and double check, okay? Triple check your work. And now the teacher's saying, hey, class is over. You guys have to move on. That's when you turn it in. You're the last one in the room, okay? But you can pick up something, and if you pick up 1 or 2, those might be a lot of points. It's only 10 questions. If you missed one or got one wrong, you get 10 points. Okay, that's serious. Okay, so if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my YouTube channel to help my YouTube ratings. If you know any students in school, please share this with them, because this is a real exam, and they're going to see problems like this. Okay, they're going to be faced with this, and they're going to say, "Oh no, I remember how Mr. Stone did this. He did the memory dump at the beginning, and hey, I think that's a good idea." You know, so not having to come up with these formulas during the test. Okay, thank you very much. Have a great day. Take care. Bye bye.